Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, the Mullet Man, Travis Hinton. You're watching 5-Star Takes, and I'm here to show you what Mullet Mania is all about. Be sure to tune in now on YouTube.
What is going on, guys? We are here, 5-Star Takes, and we have got a very special guest tonight. We have the one, the only, hailing from Pierce Mountain in the heart of Pierce City. We got the cold, hard truth, Johnny Pierce. Thank you so much for joining. We're so happy to have you. I'm Isaac. We got DDJ and Shane, of course. And we're super stoked to have you here. To start off, we'll just say thank you, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, if anybody should be thanking anybody, it's me thanking you guys, not only for having me on tonight's episode of the podcast 5-Star Takes, but also sponsoring me for Supernova Wrestling, as well as, this big show we got coming up. I know that's part of the reason why you guys wanted to have me on the show tonight was to plug
man.
Monsters in Montreal on Saturday, June 28th, where Supernova and Kaiju Pro, as well as I believe Torture Chamber, collide. But as you guys know, there's only one monster in Montreal.
Let's go. That's why, hey, man, when they asked me, like, you want to sponsor anyone else? You want to sponsor a I said, no, man. There's only one person to sponsor this whole thing right here, man.
The man right here, man, the champ,
That's awesome.
We got the 5-Star Take show here, so we need a 5-star talent to represent us, and we got one right here, man.
Yeah. And I want to say one thing, and I don't know if this is possible, because part of the deal when we sponsored you is we got, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 tickets to this show, right? Obviously, being, we got someone out near Chicago, we got someone in Ohio. Mm-hmm. I don't even have a passport. I can't get into Canada. So if
you'd be able to get in if you had a passport?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I'm legally allowed in there.
Yeah, right.
For sure. I am. No DUIs, no trouble at all, man. Everything's been expunged.
Are we sure about that?
Oh, I'm 100% positive, because I had to get fingerprinted and background checked for my current job. So
So Isaac, in honor of you being cleared to travel to Canada, I'm going to give you one of these right off the bat.
Oh, sweet. Thank you so much. Anyway, all I want to say is that if there is any way, and I don't know how it would work, but if there's any way to get those tickets to some kids up there who want to get in, or anything like that, somebody who wants them, I'd love to get those tickets to somebody who needs them, or something like that.
Who could use them?
If not, I get it. It's a fucking complicated thing to do, but if we can get them to a kid who's,
I tell you what, I think we can talk to the powers that be over there. I know you've been connected to Shiz and AJ, so maybe they'll be able to donate those 3 to 4 tickets.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, some local kids or some families that may not be able to afford the show and can go for free.
Yeah, they can really use them and have fun.
Hell yeah. And if you get those seats filled by some look at that thing.
The champ is here.
The champ is at the 3 championships, man.
Oh yeah, you guys,
this is Johnny 3 belts, man.
You stole my line. I was just gonna say that too.
Forget it.
Man, look at
there
that,
it is. Yeah, man, you've been
times have changed, boys.
You've been literally. You've collected all 3 of those since the last time we spoke, man. You've been working.
There's a new
hard.
Sheriff in town. When was the last time we spoke?
God, that's a good question.
You know what? Let's roll the opening video, and I will try to find that info up once we get going.
Yeah, man. Yeah, grab a snack, man.
So I did find the information. You were on our 20th episode, and that was about approximately 9 months ago.
Damn, we should have waited one more. What's the next one, right? Is the next one?
Next
50?
one will be 50.
50,
Next one will
yeah.
be 50.
Oh wow, so
And
close.
don't forget, this is our second episode that we're putting out this week because we.
So
just
this will technically be 50, right?
No, this is 49.
Oh, this is 49.
Yeah,
All
the episode we recorded last night that dropped earlier today, which you can find on our YouTube page at youtube.com/5star takes. Yeah, this our next week's episode will be our 50th whatever episode spectacular, whatever we decide to call it.
We're positively setting it up for failure.
Yeah, so 9 months, 3 belts. Did you get to work the show with fucking Octopus?
Octopus.
Yeah,
Gresham.
Yeah.
There were 2 shows. I got to be on both of them.
I saw the one he was at the fair or whatever, and I was at that one, but he didn't really do too much there, but because he came out full gimmick at the other show, and I was like, damn, I
understand. Like from his shoes, he was probably on a plane before the fair show, and that is a funny story. You guys, I'll peel back the curtain a little bit.
Wait, you had to move the ring.
We set the ring up in the exactly opposite place it was supposed. You couldn't have set this ring up farther than it was supposed to.
I walked all the way over to where it was first, and I was like, "Where the fuck is this shit?" And I walked all the way.
It was a wild day. So yeah, this is where the story gets crazy. We set the ring up; it was completely done in the wrong area. We broke it down once we realized what we had done, and the people in the fair coming up to us being like, "No, over here." So we break it, we move it, and upon moving it and setting it back up, one of the ropes and the turnbuckles broke.
Yes.
Oh no!
It just so happened that it was the bottom one.
It was the top 2 ropes, right?
No, the bottom rope was missing, so we had the middle and the top. With no bottom rope. So, I mean, it ended up working out for the best, but what a day, man. And then the following day was the Barry show. So, having the Octopus there back to back, that was a blessing for us.
Did you get to do the seminar with him and work with him for that too? Or
I did not get to do the seminar. It was just too quick of a turnaround, and I had also banged up my leg pretty good the day previously. Yeah, 6-man tag match.
Yeah, you were with Abed Arones and with
Let's talk about that. That was my first time teaming with Memory Museum, and at first I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't really work well with other people, and sure enough, it grew some legs, and we started walking and running, and next thing
Abed, I gotta say, Abed, he is fucking. I've been watching him, and he's taking his shit up another level. I mean, he's been working so hard in the gym. He's been working on his promo, and he's a fucking one of these guys that he is so funny when he wants to be. He gets the crowd. He's such a good heel. He's so easy to hate him. He's doing a great job. I want to get him on the show sometime. But yeah, I remember that was one of probably the first time I seen you together. If it was the first time.
I'll send over you guys' info to Abed.
Because he's good shit, man. He's really good shit, and I'm
an
really
honorary member of the Memory Museum.
Hell yeah.
So I got a question. You're talking about when you set up the ring and realizing that it was in the exact opposite place of where it should be, and you were told to take it on. How long did that take to deconstruct?
No, we got a great crew. Like normally, and I've been to a lot of shows with a lot of rings, and normally that would take quite a long time because people kind of have their heads up there. You know what's and
you can say it.
You can say it.
People have their heads up their asses and they're scrolling on their phone and they're doing the hot shit. I'm a hot shot. I'm hot dogging. I'm too cool for school and I don't need ring crew and ring. I'm too big with my ego. But we got such a great crew at Green Mountain. When we realized the mistake and how short of a window we had to make it right, given the fact that the Octopus Jonathan Gresham was on the way and we needed to represent the company well. Man, we broke that thing down so quick. We moved it across the fair so quick. They deserve a medal. They deserve an award. That crew.
I feel like literally the show started maybe 10 minutes after.
Yeah, it was.
I think
we had 30 minutes from when the ring was set up to when the show started.
Yeah. No, it was
everybody.
I was like, oh,
Everybody
shit.
gave a lending hand. Everybody helped out, and that's a great crew for Green Mountain.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
cool.
They seem like real good people, man. I always enjoy their shows. And did you get to work with Danhausen too?
I
Did you get to
wanted
work that show?
so bad. I really wanted something to do with him, but my buddy's Memory Museum got to go up against him, and he teamed with
Dude,
a guy I used to team with, and he hit me in the back with a chair. Preston Douglas.
Oh yeah. Damn. Were you at the show or no? You weren't on
I
the
was
show?
the main event steel cage match against Mullet.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck, man. We love Mullet Man here too, man. Travis is a great dude. Big fan of him. Real good guy. Man,
Still waiting on my Mullet Man shirt, Isaac.
I know. Oh, I haven't mailed it. You can see it. It's right there.
I know. I
man.
saw it last night when we recorded.
I know.
It still hasn't moved.
No, it still hasn't. It's gonna be a couple of weeks before I get to it, but we'll get you there.
Oh man, so
but what I need to start getting is I need to hit up the pro wrestling tees shop for Johnny Pierce.
That's called Pierce City, baby.
Pierce City on fucking pro wrestling tees, right?
Stray away too far from what we just talked about. We brought up Octopus, John Gresham. We brought up Danhausen.
Yes.
There's a pattern here. I need you guys to get a petition going that the next, big name that comes to Green Mountain has to go across the ring from Johnny Pierce.
It makes sense. We got to get somebody. We got to get a big man. We got to get JBL down there or something up here. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, serious, man. That'd be incredible. Get a big man against another big man. And you've been hitting it too, man. How's the gym been treating you, man? You've been crushing.
It's good. I try to, stay in there consistently, a good few times a week, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, and then you have like random weeks where you take some rest, some time to heal and listen to your body. But I'm always doing something. Trying to go for more walks and do some yoga, DDP yoga.
Oh, that shit's great, man.
Just trying to do something, stay active.
That's good. And you've been, and like I was saying, you've been busy, man. I see you booked all over the place. I mean, you got 3 belts. You're representing 3 different companies, and you're working not just those 3 companies, but you're working ETWA and Green Mountain and World of Hurt. I mean, that's 6 companies you're bouncing between, and they're putting on at least 1 show each every week. I mean, you're fucking staying busy, man. How's that? How you holding up? How's it going? How do you feel after all this? I mean, is it really helping just getting all these reps in?
Getting the reps in is great. I'm at a place in my career where I used to get like really nervous and, I have like almost damn, full-fledged panic attacks before going out there. And now I'm really cool, calm, and collected about how I approach matches and opponents and stipulations and where I am. If I'm opening the show, if I'm middle of the card, if I'm main event, nothing really phases me that much as it used to. My body held up for quite some time. Now I'm starting to kind of break down a little bit. I'll break some news here on this podcast if you guys want to.
Yeah,
hold on. You know what? Oh wait, no, I don't have my breaking news. It's on the other show. I say I have a breaking news thing. So
you guys see these elbows, the size
of
these?
Yeah.
So there's that going on both elbows, but I have an issue with my left bicep right now where I'm pretty sure I have like a partial tear. Most people would calm down and like slow down and go see a doctor and rest and heal and all that good stuff, but I really can't right now. So just gonna listen to my body work through that. I've been working through injuries. Nothing's really kept me away for a long period of time, and I think that's a credit to like a lot of the yoga I do or the stretching and just keeping my body in as good a shape as I can. I'm trying to diet a little bit better as I get older. But yeah, man, the aches and pains. I'm gonna be 36 soon. The aches and pains are starting to get there, and my bounce back is what it used to be.
Yeah, it's real, man. It's definitely real.
Okay, so real quick, be a little bit delayed, but
breaking my ears.
You got to get their attention. They're watching and just boom.
Yeah, oh for sure.
But okay, so I got a question. So being the champion, being a champion in three.
Hold on. 3-time champion.
3-time champion, 3 belts, Johnny, 3 belts.
Yeah.
What is it like what kind of difficulties, or if there's any, like representing 3 different companies, like has that really impacted your schedule? Has it made the grind even more grinding, or like?
I would say the 2 biggest things is, one, you have to have a certain level of maturity that I may have not had in the past, but like I have it now. You can't just go out in public and act a fool. And even in like the business setting, you really have to think about everything you say and do, all your actions, all your words, like whether you're at that company or not, you're representing the company. I take these belts almost everywhere I go. So if I go to work, not every day at my job, but I'll bring my titles to my workplace. If I go to the gym, if I want to shoot a quick video for either my personal life or for wrestling, I might have a belt with me. I did that when I was the ETWA tag champ. So you have to keep that in the back of your mind. I can't just act a fool, wild out, crash out, and next thing you know, I'm in the news, getting arrested because I'm a dumbass, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing is that sometimes you have to say no to some opportunities that come about. So when you're needed and you're representing the company, you're supposed to be there. Especially, that's the way I approach these titles, to be a fighting champion. So you're supposed to be there every single time they run a show, and then other companies come knocking. So you have that opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to try to do a double, or I'm going to try to do a triple. But then you're putting somebody at risk, whether it's yourself or those companies. You could get hurt. You could get stuck in traffic. So I think the biggest thing for me has been handling the schedule, where if I'm supposed to be somewhere to defend one of these titles, I'm most likely 99 or out of 100 times, I kind of have to say no to some other opportunities that come about.
Right.
Which is, it's a little bit frustrating, but when you're chosen for these titles and these opportunities, you definitely don't want to take them for granted. And I think that's where a lot of champions go wrong, is like they'll say yes to somebody else and then they'll miss that show. And then the people running that show are like kind of left stranded without a champion. That's no good.
No, totally makes sense. One of the things.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. One of the things that I always enjoy, and it's one of the things that I know Shane is a big fan of. Shane goes to a lot of shows, especially a lot of indie shows, and one of the things he really enjoys is the back and forth between the crowd and the wrestlers, and just crowd
I love that
work
myself. That's my favorite thing about indie shows.
And I mean, and I see you've always been really good at that. And talk a little bit about your mindset and your the way you approach your crowd work.
I think when I first started, it was more like all over the place, hibbity hoopla, over here, over there, I'm up here, I'm over, you know what I mean? And as I've progressed, and you go to training schools and you deal with certain trainers and they teach you certain things, and you're like a sponge, you absorb as much as you can, and then you try to add it to your repertoire. Like when I play the bad guy, when I'm the heel, everything is so much more structured in a way that like builds on top of one. Everything connects, and I'm trying my best, my damnness, to make sure everybody in that audience, whether they are a wrestling fan, whether they've seen the show before, seen me wrestle before, or they're brand new, never seen wrestling before, never been to this show before, never seen me before, I want everything I do in there I want it to make sense so that they understand what it is I'm doing. So when it comes to the crowd work, I'm not paying any attention when the bell rings. I'm not paying attention to anybody in that audience really until it's time to.
Yep.
I like that. I like that. That makes perfect.
Before the bell rings, if somebody says some crazy shit to me and I'm a bad guy and I want to throw it back at them, you better believe I am. I'm going to jaw jack. I feel like I'm one of the best trash talkers that there is this side of the Mississippi, right? But when that bell rings and it's time to do what I do, you may not hear from me if I'm a bad guy until it's time to. And then the other side of the coin is I've been doing a little bit more babyface, good guy routine. And you definitely want to interact with the crowd early.
Oh,
Yeah.
Till later.
So in your time at like when you work heel, have you ever had any experiences where like the crowd interaction it went too far?
Yeah, I would say two that stick out probably happened on the same show, which is crazy because I don't even get booked there anymore.
Was it as a result of
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not. So I've learned my lesson since then, but this is on me. Like I'm holding myself accountable. Nobody came up to me and was like, "Rah, rah, rah! You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that."
Mm-hmm.
But I know now. I know better.
Self-reflection is super important, man.
I took a little girl's poster, like that had signatures of all the wrestlers on it. Like it was just one of those blank, plain Jane little flyers. It had names. It didn't have any picture.
Yeah.
Like the poster of the show. It's very
Yeah.
old school. And she had some signatures, and I'm the bad guy, and I'm trying to get like heat. So I don't know. She asked for my signature, and for some reason in my character's mind, if I'm not a big deal on that show, if my name's not on that paper, or you know what I mean, if I'm
I get what you're saying. If you're not on there,
I'm not going to give a rat's ass about this
Yeah.
girl's signature or the post. So I just pretended to sign it and then ripped it in half and then hummed it at her.
That's awesome.
Could have been like 7 or 8, 9 years old, and the look on her face was just like, you know what I mean? Like almost teary eyed.
Was it like instantaneous? You're like, oops. Was that too
No.
far?
I was deep
So
in
he was
weird
in
character work where I didn't give a shit, and then at the end, I'm pretty sure it was the same show. One of the wrestlers' dads was in the crowd, and he had been a wrestler, and he was a backyarder, but he was razzing me pretty good. And my father was in the crowd, and he said something derogatory towards my father or my mother. I forget who it was.
Oh, no.
But my dad was like going like this because he knew. Like he me, I was trying to go over the barricade to get this guy, and then I had to like come back to reality and be like, no, I can't do that. Like I gotta let this go.
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah,
I love your dad knew exactly, and he's like, "Hey,
he was like, no.
Johnny,"
And I was like, "Fuck, he's right," you know.
Yep, they usually are, right?
Oh man, so I like I said, I love the interactions between the the wrestler, the talent, and the crowds at indie shows, and that's one of the things that I really wish like these main companies like WWE, AEW, TNA and stuff would get back more into doing, because to me that makes the show. Like I remember this one time I went to an indie show and I interacted with a couple of wrestlers. Like one was a manager who's actually a pretty good friend of mine now. And I had someone come up to me during intermission actually asking me if I was part of the show. And I was like, no. I knew. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I know a lot of these talents are my friends and stuff and all that. But that was, to me, was cool just because you get so involved in it. And then like afterwards you talk to them, after the show and when they're not in character, and you just like, I always love to go like to the heels and say, man, I love the work you're doing and stuff, because just to me, that's just such a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you really can work if you can work the crowd, but I also want to try to work everybody in the back. There was a time a couple of years ago I worked for this company that no longer books me, and I sold a dragon screw so well that vets in the back were like, "How's your knee?" And I was like,
wow.
Good. And they were like, "You look like you were hurt," and I was like, "Yep,
Good.
but I'm fine."
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's awesome. One thing I've been wondering, man, since it happened, have you ever had the opportunity to show up Selena in beer pong again? Because man, that one that shit was insane, man. How did she do that?
Never let me live that one down. No, I have not. And
oh my god!
when I was in college, you couldn't touch me. Like she would never have done that to me in college. But through life changes, sobriety,
Yep.
I am rusty, and even like I'll hop on the basketball court and my jump shot that used to be there, it ain't really there no more. So same thing with these beer pong cups, and I got this whole match to worry about with some guy who kind of just showed up out of obscurity because I was supposed to have a different opponent that night, and backstage things happened and politics and all the things, and next thing you know, I have this guy who's like brand new in the business. And
who did you wrestle that night?
That was Calvin Dumont, who has like a rich daddy's money character. So what we had him ruin the beer pong game, but if you ask me, I ruined it with those terrible
bricks.
shots.
Yeah, man.
Which is crazy because my character's based off of a pro basketball player, and I played in college. So,
and Selena's just fucking stinking him.
She never played any high school sports, college sports. She just got ice in her veins, and
it was one of those things. Watching as a fan, I was like,
there was no water in the cup.
It was empty. It was fucking crazy. I was so stoked. I was so over. Like I went over. Just
she stole the show.
Like, are you kidding
and
me?
I'm like, now I got to wrestle after that. Like, come on now.
No, it was good. That was a fun show. They had the fucking that fans bring their own weapons match where they were bashing.
I heard some things about that match.
Yeah.
Isaac, what did you bring for that match?
I brought tweezers, man, so they could pull nose hairs out. That's what I thought would be diabolical, but
I remember one of my matches. I'll use it.
I just thought it'd be great. Get someone up on the fucking turnbuckle, go down, just it'd be a great visual.
Nobody can relate to that.
Yeah, it hurts so much.
I remember this one time I went to an indie show. This was back in I think 2017, and they had a fans bring the weapons match, and I wanted to do Legos, but I couldn't. I wasn't going to spend $20-$30 on a bunch of Legos that I'm not going to use. So I'm like, all right, what can I do? So I went to a dollar store and I bought a bag of plastic army men and brought those. I don't think they got used though.
I wouldn't want to take
bring them to one of my matches. I'll use them. Two things just now. You guys said fans bring the weapons. I gotta plug this. Fans choose the matches tomorrow night. NCW Dead of Mass. And you also brought up Legos. I just had a tag team street fight match, first time with Legos. Ow!
I was just I was going to ask you, saying that how badly were you hurting when you took the bump on the Legos?
There were 4 of them.
4 Legos.
No, four Lego bumps.
4 bumps. Okay, I was like, dude, 4 Legos. 4 Legos almost sounds worse than 30.
They were big. Anyway,
Duplos.
Each of the Lego
Potter
bumps.
Mansion, Hogwarts.
I mean, they all hurt the same, and I guess I had all these marks on my back that it looked like I had been in some kind of fight with an animal or something.
I don't doubt it, dude. Holy shit! Who were you fighting in the street fight with?
The damn Pathway with Samuel Matthews and Lee Miller.
Man, oof! Well, hopefully some of them took bumps too. You weren't the only one.
Oh, they took the bumps.
They get a good choke slam in there.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Well, transitioning a little bit away from wrestling and stuff, because I know through talking with Isaac and stuff over the last couple of days and prepping for this, you're into a lot of other sports and stuff. I mean, you're wearing a Boston Celtics jersey and stuff. What are your thoughts on what's going on with the NBA Finals right now? I mean, obviously, your team's not in it, but I mean, it's just do you still watch or?
I try to. I'll catch a couple minutes. I won't watch a whole game from start to finish, simply because of what you said is my team is out.
Right.
So it's hard to root for 2 teams. I could care less who wins because it's not the Celtics. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's cool seeing these are the 2 best teams right now. So that's cool to see. I mean, you can't argue that they're there for a reason.
And the Pacers Knicks series was fun.
Oh, wild, yeah.
Such a throwback to the early 90s,
yes.
Mid 90s when I used to be
back in the Jordan era. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these crazy conspiracy theories out there about why the Pacers are in it and all this other stuff. People can say, what they want.
It's because they're really fucking good this year.
Yeah.
Gilgeous
They
Alexander
keep
what do
scoring
they
more
call him?
points.
A free throw, something where he just like fakes fouls, gets to the free throw line, and it's like, man, can't you just appreciate good basketball at the highest level and shut the hell up?
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the basketball we grew up with, how hard hitting it was. Like
Yep.
I think about some of these guys like Steph Curry trying to play in the '90s era. I mean, he would have gotten beat up. I mean, he would probably still be a great player, but he would have had to
He
get a
wouldn't
lot
have the
bigger.
numbers. He wouldn't have the
Yeah.
numbers he has.
Yeah.
Because if he was going up against guys like you mentioned, Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, put him on there against those bad boy
Barkley.
Detroit Piston teams, with Bill Laimbeer and Isaiah Thomas and Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all those guys. I mean, there were some violent motherfuckers in the league at that point.
It was a different
Yeah.
game. It was a different game.
It was a lot. It was a fun game back then.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now, obviously, are you all major sports all root for all the Boston area teams?
Yeah, for the most part. Like with hockey, I'll root for the Bruins, but I don't know much about the sport of hockey, or I don't know many of the Bruins players anymore. But I hope they do well, and I wish them well. And I mainly watch Celtics, Patriots, Red Sox. I've been watching a lot more of like combat sports with wrestling. I really watch a lot of wrestling. Any sort of cage fighting, I'm really into. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, when you say wrestling, one of the things you were talking about a little earlier was with doing such a good job on selling the dragon screw that you had, veterans in the back asking if your knee's okay. One of the biggest things that's kind of going on in the world of wrestling right now is this whole thing with Ron Killings. Was it a work or was it legit? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm in the business, so it was a work. People have been talking a lot of trash about the new management for the major company. He knows like Triple H knows what he's doing. So obviously the fans are heard in this regime, but I don't think he did that to like, let me drop this guy and see what fans think, and if they want to bring him back, I'll bring him back. I think that was part of the plan. Like, look at the title holder right now is John Cena. R-Truth literally for years and years and years, whether Cena was there or not, went around saying, little Jimmy and fucking cop, my favorite superstar when I was a kid, John Cena.
His childhood hero.
So it's like if there was anyone to let leave and bring back as a mass vigilante or whatever under some black on black, it was R-Truth. It wasn't.
And the last thing he had done was got put through that table.
Yeah.
He had just gotten put through that table with Cena too.
Well, that set up the Saturday night's main event match, and then obviously, he came back to screw Cena at Money in the Bank, and then cut his dreadlocks and stuff. But yeah, I was in shock with all of that. I love it because I think a lot of the people who are WWE fans probably didn't follow TNA in its early days when Ron Killings was like treated as a legitimate threat, and actually as a former, I believe, two-time NWA champion stuff. Oh yeah, I'm sure you did, but I mean, a lot of the new fans that watch WWE probably didn't see that. So
do your homework, do your research.
Absolutely,
watch some of that shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because it's just they
Shane's
don't know
looking
what
at me
they're
right now.
with Ron Killings and stuff, and I can't wait because I love his early TNA stuff.
Yeah, it's great to see him get this opportunity and give him a serious run. He deserves
put some
it.
respect on him. Like he was dominating TNA during that.
He was.
He was the fucking man.
He's dominated everything they've put him, like, given him, though. I mean, think about all the terrible gimmicks and all the things that they've given him that should never have worked, like Little Jimmy, like his 24/7 run. Yep. I mean, over and over again, and he just like, yeah, I'll fucking crush it.
He turned coal into diamonds.
Yep.
He can rap too. His rap music is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So one of the things, as you're a Red Sox fan, I know. How excited were you? Because I've just really been getting into baseball myself the last couple of years. I'm a big Milwaukee Brewers fan, despite being 45 minutes west of Chicago, and stuff. But how excited were you to see Roman Anthony get called up? And what are your thoughts on how do you think he's going to do in the bigs?
Welcome to the Roman Empire.
I'm so far removed from prospects, and it's hard for me to keep track of what the
Okay.
Red Sox are doing. I know they got Bregman,
Yeah.
so that was a big ad, but I don't know any of the prospects, so I can't speculate on what I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair.
So Isaac and I have talked on and off for like a couple years now. You mentioned that you like cage fighting a lot. About how the UFC has kind of morphed into a pro wrestling organization with shoot fights. To your mind, who's the best talker in MMA UFC history?
History. Oh man.
Mhm.
It's tough to not give your props to like Conor McGregor,
Sure.
you know.
The accent fucking helped so much, man. You
I'm
could say
relatively
you
new.
could say some outrageous shit with that accent
Yeah.
and get away with it.
I'm relatively new to like UFC and MMA, but when I started watching and really watching, like he was at the top of his game. So I guess my answer would have to be him. And I'm not like up to date on the current product, so to
Sure.
speak. But you know, when I was getting into it, it was hard to look past what he was doing to Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, Connor is a hype machine.
Yeah, he's so good at. Yeah, I was always surprised that he never ended up in WWE. To be honest, I mean,
He's probably
even
too
after,
expensive.
but I mean, even after the TKO gets him, I mean, there's no reason why you don't like. There's so much money and putting him up against fucking Logan Paul or whatever
Yeah, they'll do it when the
for
time
in
comes.
a fight.
If they think they can make money on something, you better believe they will make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
They'll
Dude,
do
think
it.
about the money in that fight, though. Jesus Christ.
Well,
I'd
just
pay.
getting Conor McGregor involved in WWE, you know, just with anybody, I mean, would be big.
Yep. Oh yeah, it'd be really cool to see. I mean, shit.
I'd have him manage Sheamus.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be fucking so funny.
Go to a
Oh
tag
my God.
match.
Yep. God, him and Sheamus together.
It'll be a tag team match, player.
Yeah. Holy shit! Yeah, bring back Teddy.
Your opponent is the Undertaker.
The Undertaker and Kane.
You Kane.
In a tag team match, player.
That's
Do a
Oh,
choke
man.
slam.
Yeah, in
I
history.
dedicate my choke slam to Kane. But we brought up the NBA. If I've talked about this on the previous podcast, 1,000 apologies. But
Don't apologize at all, man.
my choke slam is called the Choke Artist Slam after Reggie Miller doing this to Spike Lee. So this is
I remember
love
that
it.
shit.
before Halliburton started doing this.
Yep.
And now I feel like, you know, if you know, you know. But every time you see me wrestle and hit a choke slam, if I'm choking somebody, I will, you know, motion like this to the crowd and just different things like that. So I actually have one of those shirts on that Pro Wrestling Tees Pierce City store with Reggie Miller going like this and the cold face emoji over his.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna
That's
go. I'm
fucking
gonna take
awesome.
a look at that right now.
Yeah,
Pacer
dude.
colors. Pacer colors.
Pacer colors.
You know what?
Oh, shit.
I'm a big Reggie Miller. I don't really watch basketball, but when I did, I was a big Bulls fan. But
Yeah.
Reggie
Yes.
Miller is one of my all-time favorite players.
Oh, I love watching Reggie Miller lose to the Bulls.
It was great. It was like tasting sweet nectar of the gods.
That's my biggest thing with basketball is I always loved basketball. I enjoy playing it. I'm terrible at it. I'm tall and everyone thinks I'm going to be good at it. I suck, but like I always liked basketball, but I was a Bulls fan from like 1990 to fucking 2000.
As long as you can
And-
remember.
And like after 2000 like 99, like what do you have left to look forward to as a franchise fan? You know what I mean?
Nothing.
Like
The rebuild.
like
I don't
like you know that they're going to have the opportunity to win more championships. You know they're going to be good again at some point. You know they're going to have these moments, but you're never going to get that again. You're never going to get like the best team in the history of basketball playing at an insanely dominant level where they end up in the finals fucking like 8 years in a row basically.
Oh, I just gotta look at that shirt you're talking about. One of the colors. That's cool.
Oh yeah, DDJ is about to get a new shirt.
much to the chagrin of my wife.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on my computer still. So I can download the JPEG and put it on the screen here so the other guys can
Yeah,
see.
and so
man, that is huge. But you know what they say, right? Happy wife, happy life. Now,
Oh, yeah.
if you
Very
buy
much
this
so.
shirt makes you happy, it is in turn going to make her happy.
No, it won't. 'Cause she'll just kind of, if she sees that I open this up, she's like, "What's it?" So yeah, this is this local independent wrestler that we interviewed on the podcast. I'm just, supporting him and stuff. I may think I'm doing a good thing, but she's just gonna give me that look like.
Well, that's because you have to get one.
Too. You got to
You
get
gotta.
her one too.
I was gonna say
She's
you got to
still
make
gonna
sure
do
she
it.
gets
She's like,
one.
"You just wasted your money."
Not a waste at all. Look at these.
No.
No, I don't think that, but it's kind of one of those
Ooh.
things, where
Man, and then when Isaac ships out the other shirt in 45 business days,
Yeah.
it'll
Hell yeah.
it'll be another
I've
one.
I've had it for a lot longer than that.
I was
Shane.
just gonna say it's been a lot longer than 45.
It's been like
business
6
days.
months
From
sitting
this
there.
date.
Yeah, they've been sitting there for like 6 months, man. Nicely folded. I've got Shane's here too.
Is there
I feel like there's something inside this one too. What did I put in here? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I did have something in here. Shane, this is a throwback too. This is something that, remember this? The Kurt Angle autograph.
holy shit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's super crazy.
So yeah.
So
those will go in the mail.
real quick, has anybody seen the Tiffany Stratton like ceremonial opening pitch from today or yesterday?
That.
Oh my goodness.
That girl been hitting the gym. You feel me?
Yo,
I
she
mean-
threw that thing fucking. She was on. I had like twice as much gravity when she practiced.
Hey, that protein is a motherfucker.
This shit almost went up over that fucking safety net.
I don't know if a crowd member has ever been hurt by a ceremonial opening pitch, but
Well,
somebody had to have
that,
been.
but like people have been hit with those before. Like if it's the catcher, I've seen the photographers get one in the gonads. But we have to keep in mind, right? Randy Johnson threw a fastball, killed a bird. So at least Tiffany Stratton didn't kill a bird.
That was one of the most insane, like, you'll never see that happen again moment. And like poor Randy, they kept asking him about it. He's like, I feel fucking terrible. I just fucking blew up a fucking dove, dude.
You know, something about Randy Johnson that most baseball fans don't know is that he was like, I think he was very in tune with nature, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like take pictures of like nature
No,
and like birds and shit?
think he is. I think he's like a professional nature photographer.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Man
No,
was
he was
hurt.
like
Man was hurt.
devastated by it. Like he almost like you guys got to fucking stop asking me. That sucked. That was the craziest shit because it's just like it was like a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and it was just like
That's
what a way to go out, huh?
yeah. Be like, shit, man. All his friends are like, oh, my boy got killed.
You guys, if you're a bird and it's your time to go, and you have one of two options, you fly too high and you go into a plane propeller and burst into pieces, or Randy Johnson hums a fastball at you. Which one are you going to pick?
Here's a shirt, by the way.
I mean, I would take the Randy just because there's only one Randy Johnson, and there's a lot of planes.
I mean, it's probably the most remembered bird in history.
Yeah, man.
I think one of the more infamous moments.
I mean,
ever.
The only other famous bird that even comes to mind is fucking Big Bird and Tweety
Big Bird.
And Larry Bird.
Tweety Bird, but Larry Bird's just a person. Tweety Bird, Big Bird. There's a couple ducks that are famous.
Yeah, Donald.
What about the song? Bird.
Oh no, oh no, Dennis.
That's all you're getting out of me.
It's been like 6 months.
Again, but definitely, guys, you're watching this on here. This is one of the shirts you can get on Johnny Pierce's store.
They got a whole bunch of different colors, and they got the. I always like the old school. The Pierce City ones that look like the old Circuit City shirts. I always like that. That's a great look.
Saw one on there when I was looking on your page, And we'll be sure to post the link to your page in the episode description, as well as on our Facebook page and stuff. But I also saw one that looked like it was the font from like Sin City, the Sin City movies, which I really liked as well too.
Yep, that's the
Yeah.
one.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
there's a lot of good ones.
I like your
and stuff.
PWO, your Pierce Mafia shirt.
Yes, I saw the PWO one too.
Yeah. No, man, you're killing it with everything, man. It just seems like you're like really focused on this and like trying to work every aspect of it to the best of your ability, and it really shows. I think that's pretty fucking awesome, man.
I'm trying, which I think, if anyone's listening can apply this. Like, trying to do something is a whole lot better than not trying. Where
Absolutely, I love that.
Many years that I spent before pro wrestling, kind of in this weird depression where I would just kind of feel stuck. I'd go from the bed to the couch to the bed. I've lost out on a bunch of days. That's what it feels like. I'm trying to make up for lost time. So, I never was diagnosed by like a medical professional, but normally I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. And there were like a bunch of days that kind of just, I'd be in like this mental fog, and it's kind of crippling where you have goals and you want to go for them, but there's self-doubt and the fear of failure and all these different things kind of feeling like they're pressing down on you, or you can't do those things, and in just this negative space that you're in. So now I've turned it around almost like a 180 where I don't drink alcohol, I don't drink beer, I don't smoke cigarettes, I work out a lot, and I used to not really work out at all. Going to these different shows and promotions in towns, trying to represent companies and myself and my girlfriend and the business that we do, try to be professional, try to be courteous, nice. And there were some years there that I wasn't that kind of person. I was kind of mean-spirited and ugly, and it didn't happen overnight. And that's what I think, it's happening now, is all this stuff that's happening to me now. I used to look up into the stars at night and like put it out there. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be something out there for me, like to be successful, right? At my lowest points, I'd always like go out and soul search and be like, there's got to be something bigger happening here, right? There's got to be a bigger picture. So if I start making some small changes into my life, eventually something big will materialize. So I'm a big proponent on that. Like, it's unfair to ask people to make big lifestyle changes. It's too much for most people. So if you can just tweak a few things and make small changes, enough of those will add up. And over the course of time, if you stay on course, stay on task, you will reap the benefits. You will reap the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, one of the things to that point, one of the things I always think about is, like that idea of when you talk about time travel, right? And you go back in time, like, oh, the littlest thing you do can have a huge impact on the future,
Butterfly
right?
effect.
Right?
And crazy world we're living in, right?
Right. So what the fuck? Why not? Like, why that same fucking concept applies to every decision we make in this moment too? You know what I mean? It doesn't. It's not it's no different. Like depending on where you are in time, right? Your actions still have these butterfly effect, and as long as you put the right intention into your actions, almost always you're going to have that positive effect going forward.
You guys were talking about the Bulls and Michael Jordan earlier, and the biggest takeaway that I got, and a lot of people got from the Last Dance documentary, was that, and people said this on the documentary, Jordan was so mega uber focused on the here and now and the present.
Yep.
As opposed to people freaking out about something that has already happened in the past or fearing what's going to happen in the future. He would kind of just zone in on what can I do right here and now to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So I tried, it didn't happen immediately after watching that documentary. It doesn't, like, the light bulb didn't go off for me like immediately, but I started sprinkling some of that.
Yeah. And his desire,
if I can focus on the things that are right in front of me and that's in my control, how I react to certain situations. I can't always control like what other people are doing and how other people are going to feel about what I'm doing. But if I can control my reactions and how I, you know what I mean, worry about what I can control, that's going to help me navigate through this present time in the here and now. So I don't have to worry about something that happened that I can't do anything about, and then something that hasn't happened yet. So I'm like freaked out about the hypothetical scenarios.
Right.
Well, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? No, I'm more focused on this is what's currently happening, and here's how I'm going to attack and approach it.
Yeah.
Right. And I really like that because, and that's kind of how I live my life. Like, yeah, you know, there are things in my life that maybe given the chance, if I could go back, I'd do it over again. I do redo them, but I don't worry about them because, like you said, you can't control something that's already happened. And like you said too, you know, you worry about, well, what if this happens in the future? What if this happens in the future? You know, I mean, we can never really know. We never really know what's coming on in life. Like, I discussed this when we recorded last night, and I mean, these guys have known for a while because, you know, I tell them a lot of stuff before I go public with it and stuff. But, you know, I unexpectedly lost my job about 3 weeks ago. And, you know, I mean, I never in a million years would have thought that had been the case. But I mean, I just got to do what I got to do to get, you know, back on my feet, you know, and continue to support my family and stuff. And that's the only thing I can control. I can only control what's in front of me now, you know, and just whatever happens in the future, you know, I deal with it and I just go accordingly based off what happens.
I can promise you this and everybody else this, that if you put all your eggs in that basket about the present, all right, I'm in this moment right now, and I'm going to focus on those things I can control in this moment, it is going to set you up for a better future. The problem that a lot of people have is they get so overwhelmed in that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So worried about all these intangible things that they should just be worried about the person in the mirror and what that person can do in that moment. So if you conquer more of those moments, it's going to set you up for because I was talking about it earlier, looking up in the stars, being like, man, I really got to get my shit together so I can make something of myself. So by handling those moments better in the present, I have ensured a better future. All these changes I made were in my mid-20s, and now my mid-30s, you guys have me on your podcast as a triple champion. Does that make any sense?
No, man,
it makes perfect sense, and I love it.
That's absolutely right, man. And I think that's the key to anything, you know, like you find what you enjoy, what you're passionate about, and then you dive in, you know, and you find a way to make that something that, you know, can bring you meaning and fulfillment. And it doesn't always have to be
into the shallow end, boys.
And it doesn't even have to be fucking a job or whatever.
No?
It's like
Nobody?
anything. I mean,
say that again. I'm sorry, Johnny. What were you saying?
You got to dive in head first in the shallow end. You dig?
No, because everything I've ever seen with that is advised me not to do that. Just because, you know, I know.
There's a sign. There's a fucking sign right there.
My whole life is like that. My whole life is diving into the shallow end, and I'm that guy in the picture that like there's like a do not.
You're crumpled.
I'm gonna every time now I go stay at a hotel or I go to a pool and I see that picture, I'm gonna think, you know what? Actually, I got a new T-shirt idea for you. Take that picture and you stick your head on that.
Yeah, we gotta
try this at home.
And the other thing is you got to get the frozen face emoji.
Oh, done.
And we got to start putting those stickers on everyone at every fucking public pool you can find.
Oh man, dude! Just when you start making money off all of that, just remember who that came from.
Oh, I've got
takes, baby.
I've always got the good. My idea for Mullet Man was for him to do the heel turn.
Boo!
I want him to do a heel turn and go as the Mullet High Life.
Okay.
And fucking and dress up nice and fucking like tie up the mullet.
Man, everyone was talking about John Cena's heel turn. If Mullet heel turns, my goodness.
Oh
think
my
about
God.
the shockwaves that'll send through the Vermont territory.
That's what I'm saying. I've been telling him for a while now that I want to see Mullet High Life. I want to see him in the suit with his hair slicked and slicked back in the ponytail. You know what I mean? I think that would be incredible. Like, but he's too lovable, man. Everybody loves him. I don't know.
Yeah,
if he
man.
can, I don't know if
Everybody loves him. Yeah, dude. So, totally.
He's no Johnny Pierce, but he's Mullet Man.
Right. Oh man.
Talk about Mullet Man. Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff.
Well, you what else you got coming up, man? You got the big battle up in Montreal.
I mean, tomorrow night's a big one. Trigger the OG, if you guys are familiar with, he is a sure ballot, New England Hall of Famer, but he's still going, he's still active.
Yeah.
So he hasn't hung up the boots yet. I mean, I'm just saying when that time comes, he's going to be a New England Hall of Famer.
Wow.
So that's a big one. I have to defend the NCW heavyweight title tomorrow night against Trigger the OG.
Man, big champ, man. Fucking.
It's a big match. It's got a big match feel. It's my first title defense. It's a first time ever matchup. I met him when I first started in the business. So it's kind of coming full circle now. The promo just dropped today. I said, you're the GOAT, but after I beat you, I'm going to be the GOAT. Then at the end of this month, obviously I'm plugging Monsters in Montreal. I'm taking on the guy is called the Deadliest Canadian, Kyle Nicholson. He's a product of the Torture Chamber, he's got some size. He's like a formidable opponent, but I'm undefeated at Supernova, and no one's taking this off of me. Okay, let's be honest.
All right.
Oof,
right.
Look at that beautiful belt. That's the open weight belt.
That is the World Openweight Championship, so I can defend it anywhere in the world and against anybody regardless of size and stature.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, just making the towns and whatever companies want to do business with me, I'm gonna go for the titles. I want the titles. It's
you want to be the top dog wherever you go.
Collect all of the belts, man.
Championship titles as I can possibly hold, and then some.
Hell
so yeah. I guess that's the best way to answer that question.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you got a couple fun things going on. You're going to be doing are you doing the brewery show at Alchemist? I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Shane at the Alchemist. Yeah,
I do well at breweries. The breweries like me,
dude.
I would do well at that show.
Your Lost Nation show.
And you're not
that
even
was
talking about wrestling, right, Shane?
The Alchemist is special. So is Johnny Pierce.
Yeah, no, the Lost Nation show is a lot of fun. The only thing I always really wanted is someone to go through one of those pallets of empty cans, but I'm sure that would have been a bitch to clean.
Hey,
up.
Mullet Man would be perfect for that. Let me put him through.
Oh man,
so
I was thinking
really know what's going to be happening at the
watching Don Freeze clear out one of those would be pretty.
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean, I've said to him in the past, like, there can be only one.
I was going to say you guys would make a great tag team.
I'm going to have to face him, and he's going to have to drop this whole freeze. I'm cold. You ain't. This is cold right here.
That's right.
Yep, that's
Pop
right.
cold right here.
The cold, hard truth right there.
I got one question for you.
Yes.
Out of those three belts, which one is the heaviest?
That's a loaded question. So if we're talking weight, I might have to say the Phoenix Pro Championship because of its size and girth, and the gold is, it's a big plate,
right?
So it's pretty heavy. If we're talking symbolically, I'd also say Phoenix Pro,
right?
Because it's a heavy burden. I'm a good guy character, which is different. You're getting the throwback truth. You're not getting the cold hard truth. The throwback truth, he's all about having a good time. He wants to party. You want to party with him. and it's all about just having a great time at a party in Pierce City.
Hell yeah.
Man, I'm totally down for a party time in Pierce City sometime.
I mean, you've seen Selena operate. She's 3 for 3. Look at that.
God damn, dude. And how are things going for her?
She's skyrocketing right now. It's crazy.
That's-
Like, you guys will have to believe me when I tell you, more companies and promoters are interested in bringing her in than they are bringing me in.
that's
Oftentimes,
shocking.
she'll get contacted for work, and my name doesn't even come up by the same companies. So it's frustrating at times because I am all of 6'6", 300 pounds, and they don't grow me on trees. I look the part, I walk the walk, I talk the talk, and I'm gonna, do what I do. But when somebody gives me that shot, I'm gonna make the most of it. She is everywhere. She's doing everything.
Yeah.
She's here,
That's
there, at the big companies, at the, she's blowing up.
I saw she's going up against
time.
L Valentine soon. Is that?
She's got like 2 big matches against L tomorrow night. They'll defend the NCW Women's title against L, and then at the Alchemist, the last time they faced each other was at Lost Nation Brewery, and now they're facing each other again, a little rematch of sorts at the Alchemist.
She's gonna have to knock that can of Monster right out of her hand.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's awesome. Well, I'm super stoked. I'm gonna try and definitely get to a couple of those shows up in my area, and hit you up, get some like Johnny Pierce merch.
It's Pierce Mountain. It ain't Green Mountain. We know this.
Pierce
I
Mountain
think it's
Wrestling.
Pierce Mountain.
It ain't
Pierce
Green
Mountain
Mountain.
Wrestling.
It's Pierce Mountain.
Pierce Mountain Wrestling. Yeah, man. We got the shirts. You get them on right on the. There it is. There's one of the beautiful shirts right there. So go
That's the
go
one
get
when
them.
next time
Pro
I go to
Wrestling Tees.
That's the one I'm getting.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. I love the yellow. It's a good color.
Yes.
Well,
Who you calling yellow?
it always makes me think of those old "Don't be yeller about your mustard" commercials.
Oh no.
But we really appreciate you coming on
this
and
was great.
spending some time with us again. We wish you all the luck in these next fights. We know we don't have to worry about you dropping those belts anytime soon. And the only thing you're gonna have to worry about is making sure you have enough space on your arms and shoulders and waist for all the new belts that you're going to be picking up. So
yeah, man, I would love to do this again. Hopefully it doesn't take 9 months.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, cough.
No, definitely. You're welcome to come on anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I would love it. I'm a 2-time guest, hopefully 3-time guest soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first 2-time guest, and he will most likely be the first 3-time guest.
Yeah.
Whoa. So, next time you guys see me, let's just put it out there. There'll be championship number 4 and maybe even championship number 5,
All right, man.
Oof.
5 championships, 5-star takes. Boom.
There we go.
Oh,
Yes.
my God. I love that.
And speaking of which, we want to get you to do a quick promo after we go off the air. We'd love to get a Johnny Pierce promo on what. Let's watch some 5-star takes kind of shit because we love you and we love your work. So
yeah, so we're gonna I think we're gonna call it a night here. I'm gonna play our outro video. Stick around for a little bit so we can have a little post. We're like a la the Marvel MCU movies, a little post credit sticker.
And before we go, just give a shout out for your social media contacts so people can find you online.
Yeah, all the major platforms: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. Johnny Pierce. You'll find it. I'm the cold hard truth. There's only one. There are a lot of imitators, but there's only one original.
Hell yeah. So go give him a follow.
YouTube as well.
Yeah, go give him a follow. Check him out. This guy's legit. He's a fucking pleasure to watch, and it's always fun when he's at a show. So definitely check him out. Cheer him on or boo him when you see him when he's being the bad guy. All right, because he's good at it.
All right. Well, we hope you all enjoyed this. So we'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
Oh, man, he's getting ready to go with these belts and stuff.
Hell
I mean, you might as well, right?
Oh, hell
Might
yeah.
as
Johnny
well,
Three
man.
Belts.
Johnny Three Belts and stuff. So, but yeah, thanks again. You know, we hope you enjoyed being on our show and stuff. And yeah, like I said, you have an open invitation anytime, man.
I always enjoy coming on 5 Star, and if I could be candid with you guys, like when I hit Isaac up for sponsorship, there was like, it was bittersweet. You know, I'm like, who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to ask for this shit? And I was like, I got to ask a few people because the company was hounding me for it. And other guys were getting their sponsorships. And I'm like, I better hurry up and get around to it. So just from working with you guys in the past and having such a great experience and having the ability to donate to a great cause like St. Jude's, at least I'll get, you know, I'll send out the message. You know, Isaac's going to respond how he responds. He's either going to say, yes, I'm all about it, or no, it's not a good time. And maybe we'll revisit this sometime in the future. And then I'll get the feelers out to other people. Part of me knew, you know, you were going to say yes. I was so excited when you did. And I just, you guys hold a special place in my heart for, you know, always rooting for me and being so good to me, taking care of me. So,
it was a no-brainer.
Right, I do the same.
It was a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer. And I mean, when Isaac told us about this, I know I could probably speak for Shane. We were both very excited and totally all about it. And one of the things, and you know, we'll cut the show after this, but one of the things I've always loved about my interactions with independent wrestlers such as this and stuff, it gets to a point where I can just be like, hey, that's my friend, you know, that's my friend. And it's just these interviews and these connections and interactions turn into real life, genuine friendships. And when you like you and Mullet Man and everybody else that I've interacted with treat me with the utmost respect, it makes it so much easier for me to root for you and wish you nothing but success. And honestly,
absolutely, man.
Yeah, we're nothing without you guys. You know,
if we wish more people would see that, I would say to have
a lot of guys let the stuff go to their heads. I came out the gates kind of a hothead, but as the years have progressed, I'm starting to really understand the ins and outs. You would be nothing without you guys, and if we didn't have you guys in the crowd rooting for us or watching on the internet or wherever you're watching from, you know, we wouldn't really have much. If I didn't have this platform to come on and, you know, shoot the shit with you guys and catch up and chat, you know, I wouldn't be who I am without people like you in my life.
And that's the cold hard truth.
No lie.
Hey there, it's DDJ from 5 Star Takes, and when I come up to Milwaukee to see the Brewers play, there's one place that I always make it a point to stop at. Waukesha Sports Cards. Come on, let's go inside and check out what they got. Thank you. Thank you. Be sure to stop by one of their 3 locations or go to www.waukeshasportscards.com.
Legends of the Ring Sting, man. This is a great figure, old school figure. Looks great. It's Sting! Old school Sting from WCW. Guys, you know us, 3/4 of the Shooting Shit team, and we're here with a listener just like you guys. This is Jimmy from Super Powers Comics.
My friend of almost 20 years. He's known him since you were 12.
If you know people in Chicago, you probably know Dennis because he knows half the town, of course. But shooters, if you need action figures, comics, wrestling memorabilia, we just showed you Sting. Superpowers Comics will put up their QR code so you can get a good look at everything they have coming. Give it a shot, shooters. Get your superpowers on and get your comics from our friend Jimmy, who listens just like you.
Save 25% on your first order when you use the code 5-STAR.
Attention wrestling fans and fans of Shootin' Shit podcasts. You can now be one of the cool kids by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the official Shootin' Shit t-shirt. Buy it now and be there at ringside.
This episode and all episodes of 5-Star Takes are now available on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@5-Star Takes. Be sure to like and subscribe. Get all of your 5-Star Takes news and updates by going to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/SHOOTINSHT. And as always, thanks for watching.